WWE 2K26 Season 3 has arrived a couple of days ago, and there's a lot to talk about because some of us are already level 40, some of us are on our way there, some of us haven't even started yet, and we need to talk about the verdict of this season coming off of a turbulent Season 2 that included Borderlands content. So we're going to have to get into all that. There will be a discussion towards the middle end of this video with two of the fellas that you guys recognize very, very well, so we'll get into that soon. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you guys have been enjoying the content. Let's get into it. WWE 2K26's Season 3. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I was impressed with this season. Now, there are obviously a lot of things that could be fixed, could be worked on, and we're gonna get into all that first because the faction war tickets, that is something for me that I think personally needs to go, especially when it is part of the premium tier. I would much rather a pack voucher, coins, my faction points, VC, I mean, anything but these faction war tickets. I do gotta say that that is a bit demotivating, getting to a level 28 and seeing a faction war ticket. That's just not the way to go, in my opinion, and I think that's one of the rewards that need to go. Now, the wallpapers and everything like that, I am of the understanding, seeing how different battle passes work throughout every sports game that I've played thus far, not every reward is going to be good. Some of them are going to feel pointless. Some of them you're never going to touch because you simply just don't care about it, and I understand that with the wallpapers and everything like that, and some people do feel that the wallpapers are overdone. I do agree with that. I do think that it needs to just be toned down a little bit more, right? We're already getting my faction packs. We're getting a bunch of stuff in relation to my faction. So the faction war tickets, a ton of the wallpapers, they don't help either. I'm aware that a lot of these ringside passes and this content is planned out months in advance. But again, a lot of that stuff just needs to be toned down. I'm not against getting packs and my faction points and VC. I understand some people are, but with the way that the economy is in my faction, where a lot of the good persona cards are behind that paywall in my faction, the Ringside Pass gives us a way without having to spend additional money aside from what we spent on the game itself to get those persona cards. I think that that is a good thing, and I think that that should continue. That is one of the good things about the pass, and I will honestly stand by that as long as persona cards are still a part of my faction. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is how there are persona cards in these tiers, right? And we see that in the free tier, we have Mutiny Asuka, we have Solo Sikoa, we have Brock Lesnar, and this is content that we've seen in different games. I believe Brock Lesnar 03 was in WWE 2K23, and then we also have Mutiny Asuka, which was in the game last year, and that's almost like a made-up version, right? Now, I would have personally liked to see a WrestleMania version of Asuka that we have seen before, because they don't hesitate to put those cards in my faction, and that's a little bothersome at times, because guys like John Cena that are in my faction right now, the WrestleMania 41 attire, in my opinion, that should be inside of the Ringside Pass, the free tier, because that is content that we've paid for before, that we've had. Anything that's been paid for in years past should not be behind a paywall in my faction. That's simply the way I feel about it. My stance won't ever change on that, because there's no reason why you should be paying for the same attire 365 days later. It's just not the way that it's supposed to go, in my opinion, and I do hope that they are able to find a way to do that. One of the biggest improvements that I want to see to this pass is a pack at the end or in the middle that allows you to pull one of the pullable persona cards. Like Brock Lesnar, he has a pullable persona. Booker T, he has a pullable persona. Imagine if there was a pack that you could grind for within the Ringside Pass. You pull that pack, and that gives you a chance at one of those pullable personas. I understand that the chase personas, those are persona cards that unfortunately are very hard to get and sometimes take a lot of money to get. So I'm not advocating for that, because unfortunately that just wouldn't be fair to the people that are spending the money, even though I don't think you should be spending that much money. But just from a fair standpoint, I do think that getting something in a pack where you have a chance at something like that, I think that would be great too. So that would be something that I would like to see as a reward in the future. Now, from Season 2 to Season 3, I do think that we got a better season. Now, the recycled persona cards and everything, and recycled because that's the way that the community calls it, honestly. I mean, I do like the fact that that is part of the free tier. I also understand people's side of these things should already be in the game and everything should be new. Now, the persona cards that we are getting in the premium tier are new. So that is something to, keep in mind, and that's what they promised at the very beginning. So that's where I'm like, okay, it's a free tier, but I do agree to an extent as well that a lot of this stuff should be in there. Like, I advocate for it. Any of the WrestleMania 41 DLC that we're having to pay for again, that should be in there for free, whether it's Ringside Pass or just being back in the game. Like, that John Cena WrestleMania 41 entrance being locked behind the My Faction paywall, it sucks. You know, even if the odds and everything are getting better, it just sucks. You know, so I do agree, both sides. I see that. And at the end of the day, I just want these things to have more value, right? And I think that they're getting to that point, you know, but we'll have to see what ends up happening, because I would love to see some arenas and championships, even arenas that have been in the game before, maybe port them over into the Ringside Pass. If you guys watched the interview with Cornell, he did mention that there are no additional arenas coming to Ringside Pass in WWE 2K26. At least that's the way I took it. You know, maybe things could change. I'm not sure, but I would love to see some of those arenas that haven't made the game this year make it and get ported into 2K26's Ringside Pass. I think that would be also something that benefits the community instead of the faction war tickets. But I'm not going to go on ahead and waste more time here. Let's go on ahead and hop into the discussion with Kenny and Lex. Let's get it. We got Kenny Bomb in the building, and guys, we need to talk about Ringside Pass Season 3, the actual DLC as well, because you guys heard me spew about the Ringside Pass content and everything that's a part of it, but I wanted to pull some creators in here. My boy Lex could not make it, but we got Kenny Bomb in the building, and we got to talk about it. Kenny, who is your favorite DLC character thus far out of Matt Cardona, Tori Wilson, La Parka, and Brian Pillman? Who do you like out of all of them right now?
Well, Brian, I realized a few things. So first off, I thought it was going to be Brian Pillman. I do love his entrance, but I didn't realize how small he was. The first match I played with him, I was up against, I think it was Great Khali or something, and I was like, Brian Pillman was smaller than I thought. So it's not Brian Pillman. It's actually going to be Matt Cardona. I like hitting Rough Rider out of nowhere, so that's going to be my pick.
I'm not gonna lie, that is a good one, bro. I actually like Matt Cardona a lot. I've honestly used them all so far. La Parka is really good too. I like his moveset, especially when you got the thumbtacks involved in the steel steps, because he got one of them crazy moves where it's like I don't even know what you call it, bro, but he just take them and flip them. One of them Will Ospreay moves that Will Ospreay be doing in AEW, but that thus far is my favorite. Now, I haven't
used them yet.
You have not used them yet?
Just throw that out there. I used Tori Wilson, I used Matt Cardona, and I have used Brian Pillman, but I haven't used La Parka yet. I saw some people on X using his moveset, and he's got some pretty fun stuff. It was one where he was like holding the opponent while he was dancing.
Yeah,
so,
he got some funny taunts.
Get in there and try him out.
I know you mentioned Tori Wilson, and I've used her too. I got to give 2K flowers on the model that they put out for Tori Wilson. What do you think about it?
10 out of 10. Absolutely perfect model.
I agree. But now that we got the DLC out the way, I want to see if I'm tripping, if I'm the only one enjoying the Ringside Pass. How you feeling about the Ringside Pass for Season 3, man? I know that we're coming off a turbulent Season 2. So what are you thinking for Season 3? Do you feel that it took a step forward? Did it deliver? How do you feel about, a couple of things? We're going to get into all that, but talk to me. How do you feel about it?
I would say a step forward. I don't know. I mean, if not adding Borderlands characters is a step forward, then sure, it took a step forward. But the only things I'm really kind of hyped about that was in this season was Brock Lesnar and Kane. Other than that, I feel like the past was a lot of filler. I know a lot of people were happy about the Rey Mysterio as well, and they did end up fixing him. There was like a shot I saw where he was in the ring and like they took a mask from the crowd or something and put it on him.
They made it work.
That one on him instead to kind of make a little bit of sense. So big shouts out to them for figuring that out. But outside of the Rey Mysterio, Kane, and Brock Lesnar, we got 40 tiers, and I just feel like there was a lot of filler in there.
Okay.
Now, I do like the My Faction points because I play My Faction.
I agree.
Unfortunately, they weren't able to bump me up to 100,000. I think they should have put at least that much in there, but that's really it. My faction points and the those three characters is all I got out of all 40 tiers. So not really over the moon about it. I think they still got some work to do, but you know what? I was about to say I don't know what you do, but I do know what you do. These personas that they're putting in the game, in the patch, line them up in these ringside passes. If you're going to put personas in My Faction, they need to be new personas. So, I mean, we know why they don't do that, of course. They need to make some money, but, I mean, that's not our problem. I just think they need to figure it out.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so too. What I was happy about, I do like the free personas in the free tier. I know that some people feel way about them because, oh, they've been in the game before. And the only thing I will say about that is we've seen them not have the ringside pass before and remove content from the past and then not be in the game, then. So the ringside pass is allowing them to do that, which you can say, oh, they could do that anyway, but it's one of them things, bro, where it's like I don't think they'll ever win. I'm talking about like 2K, regardless of what they do. What you think about that? Do you think I just feel like you I don't know, bro.
They can't. No matter what they do, people are going to complain about it. Listen, we wanted Kane with the slow chemical theme, right? And everybody was mad that it was stuck to my faction.
Yeah.
They gave us Kane in the ringside pass, titled him Kane 01, and people were complaining like, he didn't have the slow chemical theme in 01. Like, bro, we begged for this theme. They made it work, and y'all are still complaining about it. So no matter what they do, people are going to complain. They just got to expect it at this point, and I'm sure they do.
Yeah, no, for sure, right? But I know you said filler, and I definitely want to touch on that. And you're somebody that plays my faction, but them faction wars tickets in that premium tier, they gotta go, don't they? No. They gotta go, bro.
They're in the premium tier?
Yeah, they're in the premium tier. Level 28, I noticed them.
I just redeemed everything and didn't even look which tier. Like when I pulled in my faction, like the faction wars tickets, I'm like, bro, what is this? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it was premium.
They're premium, and the wallpapers, like, and a point that I made in my video too earlier is like, I understand, like, every reward is not going to be good. Every battle pass that we play, there's always pointless rewards that are not going to be used. But at the end of the day, these faction war tickets in the premium tier, things like that, the wallpapers, they're OD with the wallpapers, in my opinion. There's a lot of them, and it's like, it's a Kane mask. And again, those are what I like to call PNGs, bro. Like, there's zero value to them, right? They're just PNGs. And again, I understand giving out, 2 or 3, but there's a lot throughout the pass, but the only reason why I even used the word impressive at one point with this pass is because, again, the bar, in my opinion, was pretty low. And then them coming up, throwing in these personas in the free tier, and then throwing in Kane, and what was the other persona for the premium tier? Right? Then the Rey Mysterio, which you talked about earlier. So I did think that there was positive steps in the right direction. I don't think they're there yet, because I do think that there's a lot of things that they still need to work on and figure out. But I did think that in terms of value, there was a step up. And I'm not just talking about because the Borderlands DLC isn't here, but just overall, I think the Mutiny Oscar, you could have gave us WrestleMania Oscar from last year. Like that, I stand on that, because we're seeing Jey Uso WrestleMania 41 in my faction. We're seeing John Cena WrestleMania 41 in my faction. I definitely don't agree with, paying for content that we've already paid for in the past.
Those should have been base game. And if not base game, they should have been in the ringside pass. Tyrese Halliburton in there. I know that's your boy. How do you feel about that?
I still think that it should be like Jalen Brunson instead of him, because Jalen Brunson right now making noise, but
still coming.
But I'm not mad at the Tyrese personally, but that's because I'm an NBA fan. Now, I don't expect everybody to feel the way that I do. Some people may consider that or say that I'm glazing because I don't mind Tyrese Halliburton, but I think, again, it's what appeals to you. The Borderlands thing didn't appeal to us. It didn't appeal to you. It didn't appeal to me. But there were people on the timeline and other creators that it did appeal to. So that's just where I'm at with that. But just the last question I got for you: if you had to rate this ringside pass 1 through 10, give me a number.
I'm gonna go 6 out of 10. I'm gonna have to go 6 out of 10 with it. I mean, just thinking about everything as a whole and my faction points we did get, we got some VC out of it, and I am gonna continue playing through the island. So I got that to use. It's not terrible. I just think when you look at it, you got 40 tiers. That's a lot. And I said this to you day one when it dropped. I think they should just drop it down to 20 tiers. I mean, we would get less things, but it would look so much better if you put it in a better package. And I did have some people in my comments saying they like to use the wallpaper. So, I hate to say take these things out when some people actually do find them useful, like the creator wrestler parts, those as well. They're
you got it. You got to keep those.
Strasser loves them.
You got to keep those. Yeah, you got to keep those. Like, again, I've never said remove it. Like I even said it at the beginning. I don't ever want to be the person that says remove something just because I don't like it. All I'm saying is certain things just need to be toned down. And I think they just got to find the middle common ground between what they're doing and what the consumers want and like, in my opinion. So
Right.
I think the 6 out of 10 rating you gave it is fair. Since I spoke about it in, I guess, a more positive way than you did, I'm gonna go with a 7. I think a 7 is fair based on the moves that they did. There's still work to do, but the one thing that I am glad and the one thing that I was able to take away from the interview with Cornell, if you guys did miss that, you guys can go check that out on the channel.
Great interview, by the way.
Appreciate you, my brother. And the one thing I was able to take away from that is that they're still open to making changes, and they are still making changes, and they still feel that it's not perfect yet. So this is something that they are tuning and working on throughout every season. So hopefully we can get that up to like an 8 or 9 next season. I think next season is going to be solid because the Hardys are going to be involved in that one, if I'm not mistaken. Is that the one? So
Hype-wise, it's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy. I think Danhausen is in the following pack, so I think a lot of people are going to be excited about that one. And I mean, we'll see where we go from there.
I definitely agree, but appreciate you coming through, my boy, and we gonna catch y'all. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to both channels because I am on my way to 25,000. Kenny's on her way to 100,000. So we gonna catch y'all.
Sure.
Appreciate y'all support. Peace.